Okay, today we're going to start Unit 3, Notes number 7, which is going over sequences. So with sequence, we're going to have a list of numbers that are going to have a specific pattern. So first, let's kind of go over some definitions. So a sequence is an ordered list of numbers. So what it means by ordered is there's going to be a pattern. So with arithmetic, so we have two types of sequences, arithmetic and geometric. With arithmetic, we're going to have an adding or subtracting pattern. So in our first example, we have 3 to 5 to 7 to 9. So we're adding 2 each time. So since we're adding, we know this is going to be an arithmetic sequence. And that is because 2 is added each time. Now the 2 has a specific name. So that number that we add or subtract each time for an arithmetic sequence is going to be called a common difference. Okay, so that's the first one, arithmetic. Now let's go down to the second one, which is going to be geometric. So with geometric, we have a multiplying pattern. So on this one, from 4 to 6, or from 1 to 4, I'm multiplying by 4. From 4 to 16, I'm multiplying by 4. So I can clearly tell that I'm multiplying by 4. So this is geometric because I'm multiplying each time. Multiplying by 4 each time. So that number that we're multiplying by is going to be called the common ratio. Okay, so those are our definitions. Now we're going to go down and do some examples, identify whether it's arithmetic or geometric, and identify whether we have a common difference or a common ratio each time. So on example 1, we have negative 5, 1, negative 5, negative 1, 3, and 7. So we can clearly see that we're going up about by the same amount each time. So if we need to look, we're going up by 4 each time. So since it's adding, it's an arithmetic sequence. Since it's arithmetic, we're going to have a common difference. And our common difference on this one is what we're adding each time, so plus 4. Okay, going on to the next one, I go from 11 to 6 to 1 to negative 4. So I'm subtracting 5 each time. Since I'm subtracting, this again is going to be an arithmetic sequence. Since it's arithmetic, I'm going to have a common difference. With our common difference, we can see we're going down by 5, so it's going to be a negative 5. Okay, let's go on to the next example. From 2 to 6 to 18 to 15 to 54. I can see that I'm not going up by the same amount each time, so I have to be multiplying. So what times 2 equals 6? This would be 2 times 3. And then does 6 times 3 equals 18? Yes, it does. So since you're multiplying, it's going to be geometric. With geometric, we will always have a common ratio. Our common ratio on this one is just going to be a 3. Okay, next one. We're going from 48 to 24 to 12 to 6. So you can clearly tell you're not going down by the same number each time. But you are going down. Well, we're always with these, we're always going to be multiplying. We will never be dividing. But if you're like, oh, Mrs. Gilbert, or oh, Miss, I know that I'm dividing each time. Well, if you can figure out what you're dividing by, so if you do 48 divided by 24 and you're like, oh, I'm dividing by 2 each time, dividing by 2 is the same as multiplying by 1/2, you guys. So if you can tell what you're dividing by, just put it into a fraction, so 1/2. So if you were dividing by 3, you would be multiplying by 1/3. So since you're multiplying by 1/2, this is geometric. With geometric, we have a common ratio. And this common ratio is going to be 1/2. Okay, let me know if you guys have any questions on the first page. We're going to go to the next page. Okay, we have 2 more examples of our pattern, and then we're going to do some where we have to complete the pattern. So from 1 to 1.5 to 2 to 2.5. Clearly we're adding 0.5 each time. Since I'm adding, this is arithmetic. With arithmetic, I always have a common difference. And our common difference is going to be positive 0.5 because I'm adding 5 each time. Okay, going to the next one. On example 6, I go from 1/2 to 2 to 8 to 32. So 1/2 to 2 is kind of hard to figure out, but we know from 2 to 8, and then from 8 to 32, you're going up by a different amount. So you have to be multiplying, and you are multiplying by 4. So since you're multiplying, this is geometric. With geometric, we always have a common ratio. Our common ratio on this is 4. So let me know if you guys have any questions on determining the types of sequences these are. The key is going to be making sure we look at the pattern. Okay, let's go down to the last 4 examples where we have to find the pattern and find the missing piece. So on example 7, I go from 24 to 20 to 16. So clearly I'm going down by the same amount. I'm subtracting 4 each time. So the next number would be 12. Since you're subtracting, it is arithmetic. With arithmetic, you will always have a common difference. And this one, we were subtracting 4 each time, so our common difference is -4. Okay, let's go to the next one. If you guys need to pause this because I'm going too fast, that is more than okay. So I go from 81 to 27 to 9, and then I have to find what the next term is, and then 1 to 1/3. So I'm clearly going down by more. I'm going down by more than the same amount each time. I'm not going down by the same amount each time. But I have to think, okay, if I'm going down, that means I'm multiplying by a fraction. So what am I dividing by? So think 81 divided by 27 is what? Or 27 divided by 9 is what? That'd be 3. So if I'm dividing by 3, that means I'm multiplying by 1/3. So 1/3 of 9 would be 3. Since I'm multiplying, this is geometric. Geometric, you always have a common ratio. My common ratio is 1/3. Okay, going down to the next one. So this one, we're going to have to fill in 2 blanks. So I go from 10 to 13 to 16 to 19. So I'm adding 3 each time. So to go backwards, I have to subtract 3 to get 7. And to go forward, I have to add 3 to get 22. So since you're adding, this is arithmetic. With arithmetic, we have a common difference. And with our common difference, it would be +3. Okay, going on to the last example. I go from 2 to 4 to 8. Well, you can tell from 2 to 4 you're going up by 2, but then 4 to 8 you're going up by 4. So you have to be multiplying. We're actually multiplying by 2 each time. So we're going to get 16, and then divide by 2, we get 1. Since we're multiplying, it is geometric. Geometric, we always have a common ratio. And this ratio would be 2. Okay, let me know if you guys have any questions and you guys can get started on your homework.